Hello, Knicks fans. At least I have a handful plus Knicks fans meanwhile, and she's well worthwhile having a few fans, right? So finally, we have nice weather again, and I'm in a really good mood. It's just a joy when the sun is out and you go for a walk, and even your puppy is happier. Now that brings me to the topic today. Happy puppy, happy owner. So you are ready to get a dog. And I talked a lot about what to expect and what you should do at first. This time I want to talk about something entirely different regarding this topic. So you have your puppy and things don't really go the way you want them to go. Whether you adopt a little puppy pup of 12 weeks or if it's a 1-year-old rescue dog or a 5-year-old rescue dog, it's not going the way you expected it to go. Now here is something very, very crucial and basic knowledge. Any dog you get is going to cramp up your lifestyle. It's gonna change. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. Just imagine you get your first child. You know kind of what to expect, but when it is here, it's entirely different. You have to adjust big time, and it's not about you anymore. It's mainly about that little life that came into your life, your big life. So everything changes forever. Well, with a dog, it's not going to change forever. They don't live that long. But it is changing. So you start training your dog. You even get classes, private lessons, and still not happening the way you want. So you train your dog, you try it over and over again. You understand it takes a long time to teach a dog new tricks, whether it's an old dog or a puppy or a little rescue, and it still doesn't work. And you feel when you go for a walk, people look at you like thinking, what is she doing? She doesn't have a clue. Now let me share something with you. Number one, it's not your fault. It takes a whole lot more time often to train a dog. A lot more time than we think. Because we cannot communicate with a dog with a different species the same way we communicate with a child. So that makes it a lot harder. And there is something else. Keep in mind, there are different standards of what is expected from a dog. So when you get a dog, you train that dog for you and your family. Obviously, you don't want an attack dog. And you don't want to be torn around in the whole neighborhood, that they knock you over if your dog is a bigger one. But essentially, if you are a couple like me and my husband, and my dog has Doberman in it, and she barks at every little shit, and she has a deep dog bark, a deep one that scares the hell out of every mailman. Well, we don't have little kids in the house. She doesn't attack anybody. She just barks. And that is scary. And she can lunge at people, but she never attacks someone. And I make sure when I walk my dog that I'm in control, that she's with me, that she's never off leash. So I don't do any harm to anyone. Is she perfect? No. But she's good enough for me. There's still some improvements I want to do, but I'm in no rush. And I train again the dog for me, not for other people. I could care less what others think. If they think I'm a fool in what I'm doing, and for me it works, well, that's their problem, not mine. So you have to think that way about it. Teach your dog the basics, that it is a safe dog, meaning that it doesn't attack other people. And if you have a lot of guests, socialize your dog, obviously, because you don't want your guests to stay away because you're afraid of the dog. But again, that's something you expect from your dog. Other people have other expectation. If you're this single old guy who has never a visitor, well, doesn't matter if the dog really barks. Nobody's stopping by anyway, ever. As long as the dog doesn't attack someone outside. Or if someone comes over, you don't want an attack dog, but that's all about safety. That is important. But you don't need a dog to roll over or does any other tricks if that isn't something you expect from your dog. My Nix sits on command, she lays down on command, she comes on command, not perfectly well, it needs some work and I expect her to learn that better, but she does basically anything I want her to do for me. Of course she could be better, but I don't expect that. For me it's good enough. So keep that in mind, don't get overwhelmed and blame yourself for not doing the right thing. If you want your dog to learn more, maybe go in a dog class and tell your trainer the specific things you want your dog to learn. Because every trainer you hire has his or her own standards, how they go about the training. So they need to know what you actually want. So if you don't need your dog to roll over, tell your trainer that's not what you're seeking. You just want your dog to walk better on the leash with you. So focus on that. It's very, very important, even if you hire someone to do that, because they cannot read your mind. They just go about the formal training approach, which means making them walk properly, make them sit down, not being food aggressive, work with that, all these little things. And you might not need some of these specific behaviors to be altered or changed. That's all I want to tell you today, because I want you to enjoy your dog. Training a dog is not easy. It takes a lot of time and patience, and I said a lot. And one other little thing, since I'm on today right now, patience means that you're patient with a rescue too. That's super important. And understand what to expect, really. See, these dogs are in a kennel, maybe for weeks, maybe even for months, until they get the chance to be adopted. They are used to this environment now. So when you come in, and usually most of the dogs, at least in the shelter where I volunteer, are sweet dogs. So if you go there and say hello, they might sit down, you can give a little treat, and they're friendly. Even if you get introduced to them, they may be very friendly. And you think, oh, that's my dog, it has a little spunk, but it's just perfect. You take it home and then Kusho appears. And I just overdo it a little bit. It means when you get the dog home, it gets a little wild. And the volunteer or the person who showed you the dog, these people who work there know their dogs very well, because they observe and evaluate them on a consistent basis. So if they tell you the dog has energy, believe it, take that serious, walk that pup. Don't let that energy sit in the body, and the first time you leave the house, you come home and all your couch cushions are destroyed, or worse. I have heard about dogs tearing down curtains and stuff because they just have all this stored up energy in them. So listen to what people tell you when you adopt the dog and believe it and behave accordingly. But my main reason why I made this video is really to calm you down, Be patient. Train your dog for yourself. Nothing has to be perfect. It has just to be good enough for you so that you can enjoy life here. It's your dog, it's your new dog, and your new, hopefully more active lifestyle. Until next time, bye.